Well, welcome back. I'm Keith Reynolds, host of Morning Coffee. I'm here with my lovely co-host, Charlene Chamberlain. Char, we have a very interesting guest, our next guest.
We do.
I'll let you introduce him.
With us this afternoon, well, it's almost afternoon, is Mr. Frank LoPinto, and he's the owner of Kaizen Martial Arts. Welcome to
Morning Coffee, Frank. You know, Frank, we were talking a little bit before the show started, and, I guess when you think about like old-fashioned karate, when I was growing up, they were karate studios.
Everybody
and it was
went
just
to
like,
karate.
hey, you just had to you went to karate to kick that bully's butt, I think it's changed so much over the years to where, it's a lot of it's used for health reasons and self-defense, obviously, is important.
And it's an art form as well.
It's an art form, and it's not really, I don't hear people say karate studios anymore. I hear them say martial arts. So what do you guys do?
So we have an eclectic style. We train in about 7 different martial arts, and me personally, and most of my staff. And so we go to different schools. I have 4 or 5 different instructors that I go to, and we have about a dozen instructors in our organization.
Wow.
that all train cross-reference in different styles. So some of the styles, we do have an old school karate program. It's a small sect of adults.
Right.
But adults, you're right, generally want to come in and do fitness. They want to be active. They want to learn self-defense. That's what we hear most. Most adults probably need a little discipline, but they don't really need that. Right?
Yes, we do.
So, the old school karate is Korean karate. It's a form of Taekwondo for us. Now, there are a lot of schools out there that do strictly Taekwondo, and they're very successful. And you just have to have a passion for what you do.
Right.
And believe in what you do, and then you can make your customers and your students feel good about what they're doing, and they can learn something in the process. So the martial arts is more of a broader term, especially with the term like MMA now.
Right.
It's martial arts.
Right.
So now everybody sort of flies under that umbrella. Karate schools usually here in terms of children. So children go to do karate, adults do martial arts.
Right.
Even within martial arts umbrella, there's a bunch of subsections. So if you follow MMA, the stand-up striking is typically Muay Thai background, and so this is from Thailand. We train in that style, but we don't offer a specific Muay Thai program. But a lot of schools that do MMA will do it as part of their overall conditioning and stand-up techniques. You'll hear a lot of adult programs do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
What's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu?
It's like wrestling, submission wrestling. If you ever watch an MMA fight, you see the guy tap out. They're applying a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu move more than likely.
Okay.
So it's sort of if Muay Thai is the stand-up, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is the ground fighting. It's a great art and it's great conditioning. And I actually trained in Philadelphia at a school myself. We don't offer a standalone Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu program, but we do offer grappling at our school. Probably our main adult program is Krav Maga. Krav Maga. Yeah, you might hear this.
I've heard that.
It's a big term these days because it's really focused on self-defense and fitness. So the idea is that you train and you go home safe, right? So we teach people how to get out of. We teach them basic what we call combatives: kicking, punching, anything you learn in any martial art, and then we'll also teach them self-defense. So the self-defense, if somebody chokes you, if they grab you in a bear hug, if they get you in a headlock, how to get out, and how to handle yourself appropriately, because there's things before and things after that choke that have to occur. For example, let's say I attack you, you get out of the move, but there's my buddy.
Ready.
So now he attacks you next.
Yeah.
So Krav Maga addresses a lot of those things as well.
And that's pretty popular?
Yes, sir. Not a whole lot of schools do it. We are the only Krav Maga worldwide certified school in really South Jersey.
Really?
Yes, sir. So we have students that come in from Philly, we have students that come in from the shore. And Krav Maga Worldwide is one organization within the Krav Maga umbrella that is in California, and I train with them periodically.
I think that most of the times people think that it can't happen to them, and they're so shocked when it does, you know what I mean, that they freeze. And plus they don't know how to get out.
Well, that's your natural response is to fight or flee.
Right, right. But, sometimes, the surprise, the art of surprise is huge. Especially if you grab someone and they flip you over and you're an attacker.
Well, what are you going to do?
I'm not going to mess with them, you know what I mean?
So that's one of the beauties about Krav Maga itself. Old school karate, you're in line, you're disciplined, you're focused, you're doing the techniques in the air, very structured way of doing it. This is great for the children. That's why our children's karate program is primarily karate. And because most parents come in, they want their children to be able to follow instructions and do all those things.
Absolutely.
But in the Krav Maga program, we actually have different methods of training. And one of the methods is what we call aggression training. So we'll do things like turn the lights off, or have multiple attackers, or have you close your eyes and then attack you, and then you have
scared already.
It is. So it does. It puts you.
Cool.
It puts you in that adrenalized state. It puts you in an uncomfortable situation.
Yeah.
Furthermore, most of the techniques in Krav Maga, one of the beautiful things about it is that they all leverage your natural instinct. So, for example, if somebody grabs you on a choke, what's your natural instinct to do?
Grab their
Probably
hands,
grab their hands. So we
Yeah.
use that motion to get rid of the choke. So they developed a technique that addresses that using your
How to
natural
remove
instincts.
the hands.
Now, do you see, as far as, we've talked about children and adults, but, I see a lot on the news, unfortunately, watch the news, but I see a lot of seniors getting attacked. They think of, do you have a lot of seniors that come up to school?
So I had this conversation with a colleague not too long ago, and because his program's very much fitness-based, mine is very much self-defense based.
Okay.
With a fitness component, if you're not strong and healthy, you can't
do it.
do it.
Right.
So,
Or you'll hurt yourself.
So his comment to me was, well, what's the chance? What's a higher chance of somebody being attacked by someone with a knife or diabetes? So that's why, as you mentioned earlier, the idea of this broader term of martial arts and people doing it for fitness. So we're actually addressing a bunch of threats to our lives, right? It's about making good decisions about your lifestyle. It's about learning how to protect yourself nutritionally, physically. As I was telling you, I'm a little. I literally just got out of a workout myself, and I'll be at the school for 5 hours tonight teaching. So
I have a question though. Prior to actually beginning a class, I guess there are certain exercises and stretches and things that you would do beforehand so you don't damage anything.
So during the
especially
class.
for an adult, yeah.
Absolutely.
Right? Okay, so basically is there like a mini workout that you do prior to class, or is that worked into the class?
Right. So our adult classes are an hour, and within that hour, yes, we have, it's like a song.
Okay.
So it starts out
Warm
movement,
up, right.
just lubricating
I'm
the
a dancer,
joints,
so
getting
that's
everything.
why I'm
Yeah,
asking,
right,
yeah.
sure. And so doing those kinds of things, just loosening up, everything's nice and loose. You're not really putting a lot of stress into things, and we stretch a little bit after you're warmed up, and then we go into techniques.
Right.
The way our system works, we do what we call combatives. These are kicks, punch, knees, elbows, all the things that you would do to be a little more offensive. We do those first, and then we end the class with a lot of self-defense. And so one of the popular questions I have for people coming in is, well, I'm not really in good shape. I want to get started, but I'm going to go to the gym for a couple months to get in shape.
That was my
first.
question.
Right.
Do people do that?
I think no, that's not what we. I mean, people think that way, but they shouldn't, right?
Right.
So you come in. Part of what we do is providing that fitness element and
conditioning.
aspect. Yeah, sure, it's part of it. I mean, we have people, thousands of pounds being lost in our school every month. Just because people come in, they start training, you start feeling good.
Right.
It's pretty much all levels, and the nice thing about the martial arts lifestyle is that there's this respect component, and everybody started at white.
Right.
Everybody walked in the first day.
Yeah.
And when they walked in the first day, they knew nothing.
Right.
And that's everyone. So everybody has that respect. So if you've been there for 3-4 years and that first person walks in, you can sense that they're a little apprehensive and nervous.
Sure.
And
You were there too.
And you were there, so you can relate and you help them get acclimated to the class. And it's a real. We do a lot of partner work, so you're working with people constantly. It's a great atmosphere. It's a great team environment.
No, I have a question. I mean, growing up, watching all the different karate movies
Karate
and
Kid.
everything, you always had sensei who was like always meditating, and you'd get up and touch and you'd fall on the ground, and is meditation used a lot in today's martial arts?
I think it.
Because you always
varies.
see this.
Yeah, you always see that. You always see someone, but it is used a little. I mean,
So there's people that come to our school typically aren't really looking for that. They would probably go to more of a yoga environment, a quiet environment. We play music, Tai Chi. And so that element is very much alive in martial arts. It's just in the mainstream, fitness-oriented, high-energy environment, it's a little out of place. Now, I will tell you this. We've changed our curriculum around a little bit, and we do Kata. Are you familiar with?
No.
These are when you see the people doing a sequence of prearranged techniques that form what they call a Kata, which is it's 20, 30, 40 moves, and you do it alone by yourself.
Well, that's like sort of like Tai Chi then.
It is.
As well, yes.
But it's hard and it's aggressive and it's karate, right? So we have traditional kata in our system, but the adults don't really want to do that. So what we did is we offered a short 20-minute class, end of class, and if you want to stay and do the kata, you can.
Nice.
And then you can actually earn your belts in that style as an add-on. Well, one person did it.
One.
And then 2 people did it.
Aha.
And then somebody came in and said, "What's that guy doing over there?"
I want to do that.
I want to
right?
do that. And why does he have a
And
belt?
I get
How
a
did he
belt?
get his
Can
belt?
I
Right.
get one
And
of
so
those?
people don't come in for that. But and to your point, that is the more internal meditative part of what we do. When I asked the people at the end of the day, I said, "Well, what do you like about why when we did it in class you didn't do it, but now you want to do it?"
Right.
And they said, "Well, because it's a nice end to the night."
It's probably like in dance, we always have like a cool down, usually about 10 minutes of cool down before we exit the room.
Yeah.
It's probably like that for them. How about gender? More women than men, more men than women, or is it just a 50-50 mix?
So again, I think you'll get different answers at different schools, but for us, we found that we needed to separate. We needed to provide 2 different experiences for adults. Now, to children, we have about 60% boys, 40% girls.
Okay.
But at the adult level, what we found is that the guys like to get real aggressive and hit hard, relieve stress over the day, and they're at a different physical level, than a lot of the women that come here. Now we have a joke in our school. We say you punch like a girl, but that's a compliment.
Yeah.
Because our girls can punch hard, and they can own pretty much any guy around. So.
Right.
So
are the men in their own class and the women take?
Well, we have options.
Class?
We have options. So if you came in and you felt a little intimidated by that full-blown sort of Krav Maga adult experience, we have classes that you can attend that focus more on the fitness aspect and are a little less touchy-feely and grabby.
Yeah.
And so when you're comfortable, if you want to hop into those classes, you can. We also offer seminars, women-only seminars, periodically.
Nice.
So
nice.
It's important for us to constantly expose our students to what we do because we do it because I believe in it.
Right.
But we also want them to be comfortable with the experience that they're having.
It's interesting because I think we've had someone on the show before. We did about pepper spray and stuff like that.
We did a couple weeks
ago. We were talking about that. And one of the shows we do is Love Shouldn't Hurt. And they were talking about where the woman got it turned against her. So this is like the stuff that you're talking about. I can't take away from you. It's within yourself. I like that part. Because guns, knives, if they get in if they get it in their hands,
or they grab
you're in trouble. So it's pretty interesting stuff. Now you had mentioned something about the karate that Bruce Lee did. What one was that?
So Bruce Lee style, people know it as Jeet Kune Do. Jeet Kune Do is actually his philosophy, right? It's like his personal philosophy about his martial arts. Everybody has their own personal Jeet Kune Do. And but he put curriculum together. The curriculum is actually called Jun Fan, which Jun Fan is Bruce Lee's given Chinese name. So Jun Fan Kung Fu is a style of kicks, punches, attacks, defenses that he put together under this umbrella of his Jeet Kune Do philosophy. So we do train in that. I train under a gentleman who's in Langhorne, Jeff Jones, who is a senior instructor under a guy named Dan Inosanto. Dan Inosanto, Guru Dan Inosanto, is the only living certified instructor under Bruce Lee. So
So
that
it
lineage
hasn't
is
been
there.
handed down?
You know, different people will tell you different things,
But they're next, isn't there anyone
but
next
if you watch
in line?
if you watch the movies, you'll see Guru Dan in the movies with Bruce Lee, and
Wow.
and he has a history, and they were practically family. So
Yeah.
He was a bad guy. Bruce Lee is a bad guy.
Oh, yeah, he was
serious.
different level.
Yeah, I know there's movies, but you could tell that in real life you
Oh my gosh.
probably would want to learn him.
So Guru Dan, we do seminars with him. He's 78 years old or so.
How is he? He's in great shape.
Great shape, yeah, phenomenal. And so he'll tell stories about how when Bruce Lee was developing the curriculum, they would do stuff, and then he would present it to his students, and nobody could do it because he was so
Too
fast,
advanced.
so well balanced.
Yeah,
So
too
and he said,
advanced.
look, and Guru Dan would say, look, you can do it, but nobody else can. So you need to kind of make it a little
Dumb it
different.
down.
Dial it down a little.
Make it a little
Slow
different.
it down just a little there.
And we train it. That's a great well-rounded system, and we love it because it requires a lot of coordination, a lot of balance. There's a lot of kickboxing. There's taking encompasses everything. Probably the original MMA, and that was done in the '60s. Right? And then Guru Dan also trains in. He's probably one of the best known Kali practitioners. Kali is a Filipino martial art that involves empty hands, sticks, knives, and other weapons, and also the internal piece. And Kali is phenomenal. It's
Never heard of that.
yeah, it's Kali, and it's an art. There's a lot of coordination involved, a lot of integration with people, and stick on stick fighting and knife on knife fighting.
Oh, cool.
It's pretty cool.
Cool. You know, because you know what, I think that I think a lot of people get into that stuff as well. I think a lot of it pulls from the movies. You know, people see,
That's how they're exposed to
or they
it.
want to be like like the badasses, I say, of today's world, like a Steven Seagal or something like that. That's doing all that type of stuff. Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back with Frank and talk a little bit more about his school and where they can find you and everything else. So we'll be back right after this commercial break.
There ain't no other but the one I love. Won't you come deliver me? That's how it starts. That's how it starts. That's how it starts.
Everyone has an inner Mustang. Unleash yours. The new 2013 Mustang.
Хочешь знать, что я сделаю с тобой? Сначала я покажу тебе на мелкие кусочки, а потом возьму и посыплю на большую чашу с мороженым.
I have no idea what you're saying, but count me in.
Peanut M&M for everyone!
Wait, what?
Welcome back to Morning Coffee. We're here with Frank LoPinto from Kaizen Martial Arts. I think you just mentioned to us on the break that you have a special event coming up next week.
That's correct. So we have a anti-bully, anti-abduction seminar on Wednesday, March 4th, from 6:45 to 8:15. And so at that seminar, it's an hour and a half. We're going to cover different tactics that predators use to lure children. And it's completely interactive, so the kids are going to get out. I'm going to plant people in the audience to try to get them to,
That's great.
Experience.
Yep,
that's right. And it's a very unnerving thing as a parent when you watch in a seminar situation like this where you watch a child walk away with somebody just as the person in the front of the room is telling them don't do that.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And then
Scary.
bullying is such a big issue these
Yes.
days in
Huge,
schools. So
huge.
we're going to teach the kids a little bit about how to handle themselves properly.
Okay.
Now, you also mentioned that you have a summer camp for children.
We do. So we run a summer camp pretty much all summer long. We do 8 weeks of
That's
summer
nice.
camp.
8 weeks is great.
All day from 7:30 to 7:30 a.m. to 6:30 to 6 o'clock
That's
p.m.
very nice.
And we have themes every week. So we have a make a karate movie. We have
Nice.
that's pretty awesome. Talking about the old school movies,
Yeah.
we actually make one. I have somebody on staff that is into editing
That's
film.
fun.
Cool.
And we have Ninja Turtle Week last year. We do a Warrior Ninja Warrior Week,
Right.
where we do obstacle courses. We have a karate gymnastics week. So we have themes every week.
Nice.
It's great fun. The kids get karate classes. It's not all karate. It's karate activities, fun, training, everything, and we do field trips. I mean, it's a full blown camp.
Nice.
8 weeks is really, really nice.
So you can do a week, or you can do all 8.
Okay.
And that's you can start registering for that now? Or?
Registration's open now.
And when does camp start?
It starts after the 4th of July week.
Okay.
So I think school ends the week before 4th of July. We have that 4th of July week off where we close our school for just maintenance.
So you run
and then we
through
start right
August
off, right,
then.
and run right
Run
through.
through
Yep.
August.
Nice.
Because you know what, I think that's a big thing that parents do. They make a mistake, and a lot of camps don't run in August.
No, they don't.
So
Or
now-
camps are only 2 weeks or 4 weeks,
Right.
not 8 weeks.
So now
That's
they
great.
can they do they have to go through the whole 8 weeks, or like they go for the first 4 weeks somewhere else, and they say in August there's no camps.
Correct.
They can come
Yep, absolutely.
in. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So they can bop in at any time, which is great.
Right.
As long as there's room. We try to limit it to 40 students a week, because we have a bus that takes the kids to trips, and
Yeah.
so we have some logistics
Right,
issues.
you want to make sure you
but-
can accommodate everyone.
All right. So Frank, tell the listeners where they can find you.
So Kaizen Martial Arts is in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. It's in Larchmont Commons, 3107 Route 38. You can see us on the web at kaizennj.com. You can see us on Facebook at facebook.com/kaizennj. Phone number 856-727-1180.
Okay. Well, we'll have to have you come back and
Do a demo.
do a demo on one of our
Sure.
shows.
That would be
So
wonderful.
I'm Keith Reynolds and with Charlene Chamberlain signing off for today. We'll see you tomorrow with another action-packed show.
You got it. Bye, everyone. Thanks, Frank.
Thank you.
Nice to
Thank
have
you,
you
Frank.
on. Thank you
Thanks.
very much.